Guess who's back, boys? That's right, it's your boy, Cement Mixer 72, back again with another banger. Today, we've got a DINOMORPHIA deck profile. I'll be honest, boys, hold on, let me check when I last uploaded. 9 months ago. Okay, that isn't strong. Hear me out. I may have just kind of I just took a break from YUGIOH, guys. Well, it wasn't for the full 9 months. I did kind of come back for a bit, like at the 5-month mark, but I fully kind of came back now. I'm fully into it again. It's just one of those, really. I've been doing a lot more gym and boxing recently, but, you know, I thought, you know, your boys could do with a lovely little video. And yeah, I'll keep trying to make a few more now that I'm back. But yeah, I took DINOMORPHIA, guys, to regionals. And unfortunately, it didn't perform how I wanted, but I was just... I don't feel like it was the deck's fault. I was kind of unlucky with my matchups, guys. So we first got there an hour late. It started at 11 and we got there at 12. But the official Konami Neuron app said 12, and their website said 11. So the actual app broke. So I was neg 1 already. Yes, I'll just tell you basically what happened before, you know, the deck profile, because I've also made a few changes since the regional. And yeah, so basically, my first actual game was against White Forest. I lost the dice roll. I lost the dice roll every game apart from 2. It wasn't my day, boys. It wasn't my day. And then, yeah, they beat me, game 1. Game 2, obviously, I went first. Of course, guys, they drew into Imperm and Harpies. Feather Duster, obviously against DINOMORPHIA, bro. I was just cooked. Game 2 that I actually played was against Burn FTK. You know Burn FTK, right? It was a mix of the Snake Eye cards, YUGIOH cards, Volcanic. Obviously, usually stop that with hand traps, and if you can't hand trap them, they burn you for the game, and then that's it. And my deck doesn't run hand traps, guys, so I lost that. And then I was into Phantasm Spiral, guys. So my deck, right? Guys, I bet you knew this, right? Because you're here for the deck profile. My deck's boss monster is a walking skill drain. Phantasm Spiral Primite only summons normal monsters and tokens, bro. I had the worst matchups. And I've been testing this deck against actual meta picks, and they were doing well. Obviously, I didn't lose every game. I was beating a few decks like Memento, Cash, Mimicals, decks like that. But yeah, I have made a few changes to the deck profile since the regional. And I do like this deck, man. I think if your budget is 80 or under, this deck is the one to take, man. This is a good deck. If you take out some of the cards like Iron Thunder and Brave Eyes from the extract, this deck's £40, guys. This is such a nice deck. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're glad that, you know, your boy is back. And let's get to the deck profile. And here we are, boys, into the deck profile. And obviously, we'll start with the main deck, you know. You got to start with the main deck. And obviously, let's just start with the monsters. These should be pretty standard here. So we have the Triple Freesia. Obviously, you need this card. It's the best card, your best monster anyway. Because obviously, when you normal summon this, you can set any DINOMORPHIA trap from your deck. So, you know, it's one of your main searchers. And yeah, I wouldn't really experiment with this. This is just your main ratio. And then next up, obviously, we do have the double Diplos. I will be honest, guys, right? In the regional, I actually did only run this at 1. I was kind of testing that because I did... Oh, man. You just don't really want to draw this, right? If you already draw Freesia, you don't want to draw this because just a brick in your hand. You'd rather this just be a trap. So I was running this at 1 in the regional because also its effect's just not that good, right? We're not in a meta where there's a lot of burn going around where you value being able to dump a trap immediately. And I don't know, it's just yeah, I really wanted to run this at 1 so badly. But after the regional, I have upped it back to 2 simply because it just makes your grind game so much worse. You run out of stuff. I found in some of my games that obviously lasted more than a turn. Because usually with this deck, people scoop after turn 1, right? They play their turn 1 and then they can't do much and it ends up just being a scoop onto game 2, or they just kind of stall, obviously, play it out just because, you know, this deck's terrible in time. But yeah, I found that when I only had 1, I just ran out of names to fusion summon with. So yeah, I had to unfortunately put that back to 2. But yeah, that is something you could try maybe if you really want to. All of the monsters, by the way. That's all of the monsters. I know some people like running Misk as well and a few Fossil Dig to search this. I don't really like that because that's just more cards that you can potentially draw that aren't doing anything, if you know what I mean. Because, let's be honest, right? If you run Fossil Dig Misk, what if your hand is something like Freesia, Diplos, There's a big left. What if you hand something like Pharesia, Diplos, Fossil Dig, Misk? Where's your traps at? Like, I really want to limit that sort of happening, you know, just cards that don't do anything. So we are just running the most standard monster pack of all time. Next up, we have like all the spell cards. These are literally all consistency cards. That's it. We have obviously the triple pot of duality. This card's great, you know, like we're not really special summoning on our turn. We're setting 5 and passing. So this is just a no-brainer, right? There's literally no cons to this in our deck. And then obviously we do have the one pot because once again, just another consistency card. And this allows you to dig, right? Like if you don't have that domain and you don't have that frenzy and you draw this, you can just dig 6 cards and usually you'll find it, right? Or even a Pharesia to set it. So definitely another good card. And then finally we have the one card of Demise. Out of all the non-engine in this deck, I would highly recommend you add this to your deck if you don't, because this is good. This is good no matter what. Like turn 1, if you don't have the card you want, you can set up 4, right? Set your 4 traps. Use this turn 1, draw 3 more, and hope you get it. Or if you think your board's good enough as it is and you don't need to use it, and you set 4, next turn, let's say your opponent like kind of breaks your board but not fully, you're in a grind game now. You should see their face when you put this down, draw 3 and then set 3 again. They're just in trouble. You basically auto win. Like this card has too many auto win potentials to not include. Obviously if you're running hand traps in the deck, which I'm not, I don't see most DINOMORPHIA players don't, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're running hand traps, there's kind of some anti-synergy there for obvious reasons. Like you kind of like can't have any cards in your hand. Next up, we are onto the traps. So let's start with the DINOMORPHIA ones. Obviously, we have triple domain. This is like one of your best traps. So this is, I'd say, like your second best, because obviously this can't hard make Rexstrom, because you can't use materials from the extra deck, which means you can't directly fuse into Rexstrom, because obviously he needs a fusion monster. But still, you know, you go to your Ketragina and then into your Rexstrom. So yeah, it's very important to run it free, because there's not too many ways to get to your engine. But yeah, definitely run this at 3. And obviously the other one, Frenzy, no brainer once again. This one you can hard make Rexstrom with, which is nice, but if you don't want to, you can still go the Ketragina route. So once again, another great one. Got the double intact. Obviously this is your monster negate. Really good card, because if you have this set and then you flip this because you control a DINOMORPHIA card, this becomes live. To try and negate your Frenzy, you can just kind of like chain intact to that. So yeah, two intact is nice. And then we have 2 alert. I like this because it's just good for, you know, later turns, or even turn 1. If they destroy your X term and you have no way of getting it back, you can kind of, if you have it set, immediately flip it and just bring back your X term, which is really good. That's why I think this is a good 2 of instead of like a 1. And then we do have 2 singles. So we have Brute and Sonic. Once again, these are good. You also have the reversion, which lets you copy a counter trap, but I don't run reversion. Most people don't. I wouldn't recommend it, but I think these are decent one-offs to have in the deck. You know, definitely like one that they're searchable anyway, so you might as well include them as one-offs. And next up, we're going to get onto, you know, all the non-engine traps. Well, this is basically engine. Soul of the Supreme King, guys. You need to run this card. If you don't run this card, you're actually trolling. Even if you can't afford Brave Eyes, still run it, because there's other targets. This card is so good. You can basically banish it, summon a Zark out, and if they're basically forced to not activate spells, because if they do, it's bad news for you. I'll explain it later, but yeah, they have to activate. They basically can't activate spells if you draw this, and it pays half your life points for cost, which, as you know in DINOMORPHIA, is what you want. You don't want lots of life points, so it's just a way of making your Rexstrom even more powerful. Next up, we have Double Trap Trick. This is just a great card. Obviously, it can search any normal trap. Obviously, it's got a pretty hefty restriction, but this I was actually running at 3 in the regional as well. So I had 1 Diplos, 3 of these, but I found that run this back to 2 and I had an extra Diplos just for the name. It makes your deck slightly less consistent having all 3, because obviously this can search your Domain of Frenzy if you don't draw it. But when you do use this, you can only activate 1 trap after the effect, so I don't know, it's kind of a double-edged sword with that. You can't really use it at the start of your turn. Having it at 2 isn't too bad. Like the 3 I liked, but yeah, I think 2's obviously good. Obviously, next up, I'm Thunder. This card's great. Not a lot of people know what this does. Like in the regional, I was getting away with this card so much. It's one of the more expensive cards in the deck, but basically this just reads, when a spell or trap a card or monster effect is activated on the field, pay half your life. So once again, another card that halves your life points. Negate the activation. If you do destroy that card, then destroy any other card in the column. So guys, if you're against Dinomorphia, you should always activate anything in front of their X term if it's already up on the board. Because that just means, because it says destroy anything in that column, it doesn't mean where the Iron Thunder's set. So if the Iron Thunder's set like here, it doesn't mean when it activates, it destroys everything in this column. It means it destroys anything in the activated column. So let's say they activated an effect here, and then you use Iron Thunder, it would destroy everything in this column. And that's why against Dinomorphia, you should always set it in front of important target. Like, use your cards in front of important targets. Because, I mean, they can't really Iron Thunder it because it would destroy... You know what I'm saying. But, guys, no one did it. No one knows what this card does, right? So, you can get away with it. I was getting away with it. I didn't get hit. Like, no one used that sort of strategy against me the whole time. Like, I got away with using this card so much. Obviously, you can also use it before you go into Rex Term. But, yeah, such a nice card. Next up, Ferret Flames. This card saves you, man. Basically, it wipes every monster on the board if your life points are low enough, which is lovely. Next up, I'm running 2 Gravediggers. Sorry for, the different rarities, but, the reason I'm running this, there's a lot of aggregators going around, right? Like one of your biggest outs to your board, X-Ryzel, right, can just dump Aggregator. So that's basically an out to Rexstone right there. And basically, because, Ryzel can just so easily out this with Aggregator, your Rexstone. This is like a mandatory, man. Like, this card right now in this format's so good. And it actually won me a game against a Memento player at the regional, guys. He had 2,000 life points left. And he obviously, Memento activates so much stuff in the graveyard. I just flipped this, burned him, and won the game. I think it's a great card to currently be using. Next up, obviously, we have Triple Solemn. This card's good going first. Only problem is when you get to below 1,500 life points, you can't activate it. It's just a good card to have, but just remember that. And the final main deck cards are Triple Imperm. Obviously, Trap deck. This is a Trap. Good going first, going second, and a Hand Trap. Like, this card's too crazy to not run. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone agrees that you need to be running this card. Alright, guys, that is the main deck. So let's get on to the extra deck. Obviously, we'll start with the names. Obviously, you have your boy, Beautiful, at 3. Do not run any less than 3. You have to run 3 if you want to survive the grind game, just in case they out one. Next up, we have the Triple Kentragina. Once again, I like this at 3. I mean, if you have 3 Wrexham, you're going to want 3 Kentragina. And obviously, I run 2 Stealth Burgia. Honestly, I would keep this ratio of these Dinomorphia cards. I wouldn't touch this at all, guys. You can try lowering this or lowering this, but once again, you can run out of names, guys. Like, you know what I mean? The more domains and frenzies you burn through, the less and less names you have. And if you have like less of these, then you got to use more of your Kentraginas. If this was your like extra deck stuff because you want to make room, realistically, you'd have to start like using Rex terms to fuse with, and it's just I wouldn't recommend it. So that's why I'd say keep your Dinomorphia lineup like this. And then obviously we have the Soul of the King targets. So basically you summon the Zark out, and then the Soul of the King says at the end of your next turn, this card's returned. So a lot of players will read that part of the effect, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just pass turn and then activate my spells then. But they don't understand, right, that this card right here, Odd Eyes Akre Dragon, contribute this while this is on field, contribute, and you can summon this out the next turn. And because you tributed it, it's not actually being affected by Soul of the King, meaning this won't return. And it's still active. It makes Soul of the King still active, the trap card. So therefore, they still can't activate spell cards. So this is kind of mandatory, and both of these are cheap cards, so might as well. Then you have the target. So if they do decide to activate Soul of the King, obviously you destroy whichever one's on the field. And then you summon out both Crystal Clear Wind Synchro Dragon and Brave Eyes. If you don't have Brave Eyes, it's not the end of the world. You can run stuff like Starving Venom, Fusion Dragon. It's just not as good. And obviously, Clear Crystal Wing's probably the best synchro you can make with this. And it's really good, man. It's spell negate and it's unaffected if you activate. And then finally, apart from that, because obviously that is another kind of second engine, the final card to run is 1 SP. Obviously, you know SP, right? Like, we'd be running it. 1 Typhon to get us out of bad situations. Such a good staple. And this one may kind of cause a few questionable looks. I'm actually running Tornado Dragon. In my regional, this actually was Lagia, but the problem was I was having trouble with cards are already on the field. And I just kind of value the fact that my build isn't like the best with back row hate. So just kind of having Tornado Dragon here, no one really expects this, right? Not many people are going to run it. Obviously, I haven't fully tested it yet because this was Largia in the regional, but the Largia wasn't doing anything. And I think back row removal would just be so much better. And obviously, we do have the SP for that as well. So you would usually use this first. But if you went through your SP and you still need it, I don't know, the Tornado Dragon's there for that. But obviously, yeah, you can put anything here you want. You could put the Abyss Dweller. You know what I mean. This is kind of your free slot, but that's what I've decided to start running there. And now, guys, onto the extra deck. Also, do you like the sleeves I was repping for this tournament? Kind of good. But anyway, first one, the MVP of the side deck, the Shifter, boys. Some of you might be questioning this pick because, obviously, your traps, when they're in the grave, stop them burning you for your life points or attacking you and you lose life points and then just lose. And obviously this would banish those important traps. But the thing is, you never play this going first. You only play this going second. And when going second, this doesn't affect you, right? And I'll tell you why, if you don't know. I'm guessing a lot of you will, but obviously if you don't. You activate this turn 1 on their turn. Now their graveyard's gone, right? They can't activate in the graveyard. If it's a graveyard dependent deck, they're cooked. Then it goes over to you. Obviously, it's still active on your turn, but you're playing a trap deck, right? So you're not going to activate anything this turn. So you set 5 or set 4. Set 5 because you're going second. You draw a card, right? Set 5 or maybe normal summon Frisia, then set. Then you just pass turn immediately again. Now, Dimension Shifter's gone. They couldn't do anything on their turn 1, and you get to keep playing, and all of your stuff's about to be live because you're about to activate it. Like this card's too good right now not to side, in my opinion. The next, obviously, we have the Lancer. This is for the Malice matchup, obviously. I was going to put Chaos Hunter in my extra deck, my side deck as well. I ended up not, but I still kind of on the fence about it. Next up, we have Solemn Judgment, because it's just one of the best going first cards. Like, if you know you're going first, this card's good. So I always side this in and have Solemn Strike and Solemn Judgment in. Obviously, it pays half your life points, so you can always activate it no matter how low you get. Just a great card. Then I was actually running Triple Droll. Stuff like, obviously I lost in the regional to burn FTK, right? Because it could keep just comboing off and all that. If I had this, I think I'd have been alright. And also just kind of run this for stuff like Mermail, you know, like some decks, even like Dark World, right? Like there's just so many decks where this card can just auto-win. But I was running originally here, I was running 2 Lightning Storm and a Harpies. So in my opinion, this slot could also be something like 3 Chaos Hunter or 2 Lightning Storm and a Harpies. Really up to you. And then finally, I'm also running Triple Evenly. And obviously this card's just kind of crazy. Some decks will just completely falter. Obviously you have to choose. Obviously this is a going second card anyway, right? If you're going second, you're already at disadvantage. So you might as well side in some crazy going second cards. And obviously be wise with this. If you know your opponent's just going to be able to deal with it, don't side it in. But for those matchups, you know they're just cooked if you draw this. 100% side it in. Like, you get 6 cards going second, guys. So, like, the odds you draw this is crazy. And it can be your 6th card, right? So, that's counts. Whereas Shifter, you have to draw in the 5 you pick up, right? Because you can't really draw into this. You have to open it, right? Whereas this, you can draw into. So, is crazy. But anyway, guys, that is the deck profile. If you did enjoy this video, you know, don't forget to give your boy a like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I'm back, you know, so, you know, let's celebrate that way. But anyway, there's plenty more decks profiles coming in the future. If you want to see some gameplay of this, let me know, because, you know, I can make a gameplay video for this deck, or maybe a guide. Up to you. But anyway, guys, oh yeah, you see this games, boys? This is the average DINOMORPHIA player. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I'm trolling. This is the outro anyway. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that deck profile. And honestly, if you do see any possible upgrades or like changes you think I should make to the deck, obviously, you know, put it in the comments below. I've been enjoying this deck a lot, guys, you know. And I did have fun at the regional. Like, if you like these sort of trap decks and your budget isn't like up, it's such a good deck to pick up, guys. Like, DINOMORPHIA is such a good time. And look at this boy. Tell me Rexham isn't like one of the coolest boss monsters of all time. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.